Dude, I about went down. You scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh my god, because I thought you may have been like coming into me. Woo! Got the boys. We're out here killing it. 3 Groms, just doing Grom things, you know, just a Grom day. Right, Kevin? I don't have a peg still. It has to get welded. I had a really, life's been hectic, man. That's why I haven't been posting as many videos lately. It's just because I haven't been able to, but trust me, guys, I'm doing my best. Carl, the KTM, his parts are on the way. They're in the mail. About a week, they'll be here, no more. There was a little confusion with the parts that were ordered. I went through motosport.com. They did a great job, and they found me what I needed. And it's on the way. It's just a special order part because it's an engine component. Anyway, so KTM will be back in a week. Hopefully, that's assuming that's the problem and it solves all the issues we're dealing with. The CR125. The top end's fine basically. I mean, that's cheap. We got to break open the bottom end still, but I'm pretty sure it's just the crank bearings, maybe the crankshaft. You know, $200-300. And it's fixed, but I'm tight with cash right now. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, my Patreon money helps me pay rent sometimes. I'll be honest with you, like, things are tight, you know, and living that dad life, so it kind of takes some money. But we're gonna get there. We'll get the bikes fixed as soon as we can and get everything back on track, so don't hate me too bad. That's my intro. That's all we got. Let's do some woolies. Hey, first wheelie of the day. Not bad. Keep it going. Oh! Woo! Getting a little wild with it. Ah! Ah! Oh my gosh. Hey! Hey! He was really excited to wave.
What is that?
Looks like something shattered. Yeah.
Yeah, road shattered glass.
Oh. Sada. We're just chilling with it. Alright. I don't need the right side anyway. I don't have a peg. This is actually kind of difficult. I'll wheelie all day, but that is sketchy. One day I want to have something like that. It's even got the hood scoop. Look at that. Front wheel drive tires are burnt up from all the speed that thing has. You don't even know. It's about 40 degrees outside. Can't see my breath yet, so no reason to complain. Hey, where's your bell, Murph? You had a bell. Where's it at?
Yeah. This is fun.
That is not appropriate. Oh my god. Yes, that was a good one. That was a...
That's why nobody likes it.
Okay, one topic I did want to bring up and talk to you guys for the next couple minutes about is why I'm fixing Carl, my KTM, on my own, and why, like, what happened with Dillon Brothers Motorsports. So I'm going to give you a recap, and I'm not talking any smack on Dillon Brothers. I'm not hating on them. I'm not saying they have bad service, nothing like that. I just got into a little argument with their service manager. You know, that was it. But they did right their wrong. The GM called me the next day, or actually later that day, and apologized and everything like that. Made sure that we cleared the board. I just figured I could fix it a whole lot easier since I already knew the problem. The rocker arm shaft, basically for the valves, the arm that the valves tick on was just a little bent, and it's not supposed to be warped like that. It causes the valves to get out of place really easily and misadjusted really easily, and the bike runs like crap. I brought it in, I told them what I thought was wrong, and I feel like they kind of looked at me like I was stupid. Like, it was Rick, the service manager that works there, and then this other one of the techs. And I explained what I wanted them to look at, you know, and they're just like, okay, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, we'll start into it soon. So I got a call a week later, and they're like, okay, the battery's dead. And I'm like, I know the battery's dead, I've just been kickstarting it. But they're like, well, you know, Rick, the service manager, goes, well, you know, we need a battery so my service tech doesn't need to kick it while, you know, be kicking it while he's out in the streets testing it and blah, 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 like while he's out riding and testing it. And I was like, okay, well, don't you have a battery you can throw in it? And they said, no, I had to buy one. It was $90 to put in a battery. So I let them put in the battery, and I said, I'll pay 90 bucks, whatever, just get it. I just wanted this thing looked at, is basically it. And I was like, I'll take that hit. You know, I just don't want to spend much money on this. I just need to know what the problem is, and then I can either fix it on my own, or they can fix it under warranty, or we'll figure it out. But since it's a warranty job, you know, typically places want you to spend money. Well, this is where that went, because the next week after I bought the battery, they called, or I called them, and they said, oh, we had to let the air filter soak for 2-3 days in cleaner because it was so dirty. And I'm like, it's a dirt bike, of course it's going to be dirty, whatever. They're really touching on some small things here. I wanted them to break the engine open, because I could have done all this on my own. I mean, I understand these things can affect the bike, but I'm kind of getting irritated here because they're not breaking my engine open like I wanted. So the third week they call, or no call, so I called them like to the end of the third week, towards the fourth week, and they said that they think it's a fuel line issue, that my fuel pump isn't pushing enough fuel out, so they want to replace the fuel pump. But it's not going to be under warranty because I replaced a couple of my fuel line parts and my fuel rail and stuff through KTM and Husky.com, which does not void warranty, but they said it did. And I said it didn't, and I was like, you know what, I'll just, you know, come in and check it out. And Rick, the service manager, told me that since I don't want to spend any more money, they can't figure out what is wrong with the bike, because basically they want to like do one little part and lead up to the engine components. They don't want to just break it open, because they have to cover their end too, you know, warranty wise. I get that, and I get small things can lead to bigger issues, but it was just ridiculous. And Rick, the service manager, literally said to me, he goes, since you don't want to spend any more money, we can't really do anything, so you'll either need to come pick the bike up, or we'll work on the fuel system, basically charging me more money. And it was just ridiculous, you know. So I went in there, I was like, I'll just pick up the bike. And when I went in there, I talked to Rick, the service manager, in person, and I said, you know, I was getting a little upset because no one was understanding what I was saying. They were treating me like I was stupid, and I'm not. And they seem to do that apparently to a lot of people, because I've heard other stories like this. But I got a little upset, and I dropped an F-bomb. And I immediately stopped and I said, I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little upset. Let me just take a second, step back. And Rick replies, their service manager replies with, oh, I'm getting upset too, and turns to his tech and goes, take all of our SHIT off of his bike, and turns to me and says, never let me see that bike in here again. And that was the end of it. So I took my bike and I left, and I felt very embarrassed, and I felt very attacked. Somehow word got back to their GM. I didn't complain, but word got back to their general manager, and he called me and apologized and said, bring it on back and we'll get it done the right way. And I'm sure Rick got hopefully scolded for treating a customer like that. But you know, no hit on Dillon Brothers. Just be careful, you know, when you go into dealerships. It's just the communication can easily get lost. So that's my whole spiel on that. Everybody was kind of curious. That's the whole KTM story. Hopefully I'm not driving too fast. You guys heard that without too much wind. I always got to worry about that. But long story short, we'll get the KTM back on the road soon, and we'll continue this ride here, break off, do some more wheelies. Jesus, dude. Scared the hell out of me, Brandon. Dude, I about went down. You scared the hell out of me. I was like, oh my god, because I thought you may have been like coming into me. Woo! That's my karma, because I scare so many people. Whoa! What are you? You should have done it longer, Brandon. They didn't hear you. I found T-Bell. Hopefully the bros, yep, I see bikes. They're in there eating burritos. Let's go. And then I met his buddy the other night. We hung out, forgot his name, but he's got this brand new 2018, dude. Look at that thing. 450 FX. The thing's sick.
Where's my lock?
Brendan, that is for, okay, you know.
We're about to leave, Brandon.
That's fine. Alright, got the squad, aka Kyle and Nick.
Where we going?
I have no idea. He kills it. I love that. There go the big boys. What's that? I'm gonna take your gas cap off. Grom's a little dirty. We'll get him clean here. Don't worry, Kevin. I got your back, buddy. Oh, now we're talking. Now we're getting nice and clean. How is my chain loose again? Jeez, I need a new chain. Let's call it truce.
No, you won't honor it.
I will too.
12 seconds later.
Yeah, truce that. What's up? Okay, that's not even part of the game. That's not even fair.
It's over your pouch.
I'm gonna get hit.
Kyle, you don't stay drunk.
Thanks, buddy. Is that a cop right there too? Yep, he did a wheelie and there's a cop right there. Oh, good stuff. Everyone's just laughing at him. Alright guys, so we're close to home. We're gonna call this a video. It hasn't been too entertaining, I know, but got a lot of information out for you guys that I wanted. And we'll be back on the streets with Carl soon. Get this bad boy fixed up, get a peg on there. Then all I have to worry about is the CR125. So anyway, if you like the video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. And until next time, peace.